wake up, baby, it's a Chelsea day. So blue, baby, that's chipping pain. Talking dreams while the sky stays bright. Rest your head, but not the night. Every morning, every go we see. In our hearts it's Chelsea, me and you, we can agree. Oh, take me out and stay with you, river you talk. When to tap I take you. Oh, Chelsea, we stand tall. We stand tall. Everywhere we give our all. Everywhere, yeah. Forever but true. Together we rise, just me and you. In nights that you will go home, 3 hours away, so near to my home. It will look so deep in river. Whoa, whoa. In the blue, our spirits fly. With every cheer, we touch the sky. In this love, we find our way. Chelsea forever, day by day. Oh, Chelsea, Chelsea stands tall. Cover up with the hand. We give our all. Chelsea, forever but true. Together we rise, just me and you. Hey, go wake up, baby, it's a Chelsea day. So blue, baby, that's chipping pain. Talking dreams while the sky stays bright. Rest your head, but not the night. Every morning, every go we see. In our hearts it's Chelsea, me and you, we can agree. Oh, take me out and stay with you, river you talk. When to tap I take you. Oh, Chelsea, we stand tall. We stand tall. Everywhere we give our all. Everywhere, yeah. Forever but true. Together we rise, just me and you. In nights that you will go home, 3 hours away, so near to my home. It will look so deep in river. Whoa, whoa. In the blue, our spirits fly. With every cheer, we touch the sky. In this love, we find our way. Chelsea forever, day by day. Oh, Chelsea, Chelsea stands tall. Cover up with the hand. We give our all. Chelsea, forever but true. Together we rise, just me and you. Hey, go wake up, baby, it's a Chelsea day. So blue, baby, that's chipping pain. Talking dreams while the sky stays bright. Rest your head, but not the night. Every morning, every go we see. In our hearts it's Chelsea, me and you, we can agree. Oh, take me out and stay with you, river you talk. When to tap I take you. Oh, Chelsea, we stand tall. voice ornate of my own. Live so live in river. Whoa, whoa. In the blue, our spirits fly. With every cheer, we touch the sky. In this love, we find our way. Chelsea forever, day by day. Whoa, Chelsea stands on. Cover up with the hand. We give our all. Chelsea, forever but true. Together we rise, just me and you. Hey, go wake up, baby. It's a Chelsea day. So blue, baby, let's chip and play. Talking dreams while the sky stays bright. Rest your head, but not the night.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chester Perspective. Welcome to another news roundup show on Chester Perspective. I do hope you're all doing well. We do have a few items lined up to talk about. We'll talk about Noni Madueke, Mohammed Kudus, Nicolas Jackson, Akani Chukwuemeka. There's also news about Victor Osimhen. Not too many, but the truth remains, because we keep it interactive here, chances are we'll talk a lot about the later we have talked lined up. So please keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I can't talk this afternoon. We have just 7 likes, but we should be doing a lot better than that, because we have 21 people following the show. Let's keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all, and thank you once again. Let's see, a total of 71 people, 21 on YouTube. The rest shared between X and Facebook, whether equally, I do not know. So I'm going to say hello to all of you in the chat so we can start addressing the items we have lined up. Yeah, because soon I need to go to the airport to go pick up someone. Big up to you too, Tebe. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. So thank you. More likes, people. More likes. Thank you. Glad you like the song. Sincerely do appreciate that help. Yep, because we're streaming in a vertical format. Here's what you do. What to do to see the bells and whistles. You press and hold your screen for just about a second. Then you see the like, comment, share options. Please help us share if you can. Drop a like on the video to help us garner more likes. Let's see if we can beat 50 likes today. We haven't beaten 50 likes in a while, except for YouTube Shorts. But let's see if we can do that today. A big tie. I do know. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you for finding the time to join us. Always nice to see you. Let's see what else we have here. More likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on stream. The likes do go a long way. Let's see. What do we have here? We have Tebegu in the house. Get me Rodrigo. Please note to Ganacho or get Malik Fafana. Let's see what happens. Due to his wages, I don't think it will happen. I don't think Rodrigo happens too. Let's see. Big up to you too. And Wally Water is in the house. Let's see. Only Palmer I would see happening. Only player I would see happening is Yildiz. But even then, he isn't really a winger, and I don't think Juve are looking to sell. Big up to you too, Lumi Rain. Nice to see you. Rain, is this a Rain or? But if you're the new Rain, because we had a Rain here, if you're the new Rain, do us a favor, please take a second, drop a like on the video, feel at home, express yourself. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. That's what we do here. But thank you for joining us. Sincerely do appreciate you. What else do we have here? This reads Quenda plays on the right, not on the left. He can play on either side. Yeah, and that's the sort of players we're looking for these days. But yeah, but attention, I think we're looking for right-footed. Is that the one we're looking for right now? Quenda also plays on the primarily right-footed, but you'd have to be able to play on either side. He played most of the season on the left, but he isn't a left wing. But I've seen him on the right too. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Madueke staying. How do you know? Elaborate. I'd really would like to know how you've concluded that he's definitely staying. I'd be interested to see what you have to say there. Give me a second here. Let me rearrange something very quickly. So let's go, people. Let's go. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes that do go a long way. Michael Okoye. Hi to you too. Michael Okoye sounds like a Niger brother right there. If that's the case, nice to see you, my brother. I do hope you're doing well. Let's see. It looks like Kopama is Nehemiah Fowler. So you could say this is some sort of closure for Chelsea fans. And the first item we have uh, lined up here reads more on Victor Osimhen and Galatasaray story from earlier today. Personal terms are agreed until June 2028. Victor said yes to Galatasaray once again. It now depends on Galatasaray and Napoli to get the deal done after initial 55 million bid. After Al Hilal offered to pay 75 million, it just doesn't make sense. So probably he's getting some sort of compensation that's outside of the contract. I honestly do not know, but good luck to him. Honestly, it's as I've said before, it's business for all parties involved: the club, the players, everybody's looking out for what's best for them. Let's hear you, Victor Osimhen. Your thoughts? It looks like he's staying there, and they treated him like a king. And he did really well. Won all sorts of stuff, broke all sorts of record. So I'm not shocked that he's staying. But let's hear you, Tobeho.
Yeah, big up, coach, big up, Bobby,
It's
big
been a
up to
minute.
the chat.
How have you been?
Say again.
How have you been? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Fine, fine. I can't complain.
Yeah, in terms of Victor Osman, it seems like this only Saudi and Galatasaray that want him, and then clearly doesn't want to go to Saudi at the moment. So it's a good move for him. If I was him, for example, I like you said, it's business. I think he should have took opportunity to Chelsea and cut his wages because playing for Galatasaray, you won't be mentioned one of the best players because it's one of the easiest leagues in the world. In all respects. So big up to him. Go get your bags of money. It's okay. You need to support your family or everyone around you.
I mean, it's business, and I don't blame him. But I'm shocked that he didn't go to the Saudi Pro League. He decided to stay in Turkey. I think he's getting the bag somehow. That's not been made public. That connections and all that. There's so many ways, to get the bag. It doesn't have to be a straight up payment. Only he knows. And congratulations to him. I think we did at some point realize that chances are he'd stayed there because they're offering him nearly 70 at the time. They were offering him nearly 70 to 80% of what the Saudis were offering. So yeah, if I were in his shoes, I'd do the same thing. No need to go where probably I'm not going to be settled. Since they're paying me something close, I just take it and stay. Arsenal wouldn't pay more than 30 million, but we want 50, and I don't think we're selling for less either. I know the new owners, I know how they behave. Noni is gone. I think he's going to be gone. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, Board has said we're looking for a right-footed right wing player, and Kwenda is left-footed, so I don't see him playing left winger for us, coach. Okay, but Houston, you should be. I think he's probably capable of playing on either side. But I get your point. With Chelsea, by Osimhen, it's never going to happen. We've always known that be the case, and it turns out that's exactly what. Yeah, it is. I think Jackson also stays. We'll get to that in a bit. Keep the topics aligned. Otherwise, I will assume you're having a good conversation with someone in the chat, which you have every right to do. As much as I like to interact with you, if I keep going back and forth topics, it can be very exhausting. Starling and Chilwell, yeah, we know that. Let's see if he dropped his wages, then that would be crazy to cover. Not gonna lie, I don't think it. I would. I'm not gonna advise him to drop his wages. It's work after all, irrespective of what anybody says. Football is work for him. That's how he earns money. That's how he puts a food on the table for his family. But Bobby, let's hear you if you want to add anything to that particular topic before we move on to the next one.
Who's this? You mean Osimhen?
Victor Osimhen, yes, staying Galatasaray, yeah.
I don't really know what to make of that. I think the only thing I feel is this is a player that, besides playing in Europe for a while, he lacks the foundational knowledge of the background of a lot of the teams that potentially could have come for him. Like you, I'm kind of surprised that he chose Turkey over Saudi Arabia. Yeah, there's some money in it somewhere. I don't know. It's all very confusing. I think it's this sort of thing that puts off some of the big clubs from him, because I'm not sure what his negotiation stance was, who his management team is. It just looks all a little bit odd. But it's what he likes. It is what it is, and everybody move on.
I mean, it's business. He does what he wants. Um, it's his life. He's the one that does the work. Football is work, irrespective of how anybody wants to see it. What about goalkeeper? Nothing. We haven't heard nothing of late, and we just
Exactly.
heard from was it AC Milan manager saying something to the effect of Mike Maignan. He's happy that he stayed. He's the captain. Yada yada yada. But he could still join us as a free agent. That's because he has not signed a new contract at AC Milan, so the possibility is still there. But that of Osimhen, you can say that chapter, is closed finally. Let's see. Big up to you too, DJ. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and since appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Nice to always see you. I'm quite sure you're back in England, right? Yeah, because you were in Romania. Big up to the chat, says DJ. Thank you for saying that. So Axel Disasi. Villarreal are yet to formalize their interest in Axel Disasi. So the initial report that came out, was it yesterday or today? Actually, in the early hours of today, just rumors at this point. Because this reads, according to Ben Jacobs, that Villarreal are yet to formalize their interest in Axel Disasi with an official offer, with Chelsea hopeful of earning around 25 to 30 million, probably around 20 or a little less. I'm not sure what we'll get from him. But I think there are clubs interested in signing him. The question is how much we're willing to put on him. I think that'd be the only stumbling block. The only reason we end up not selling him would be how much we're asking. But I think we probably know that we're not going to get that much money from him, and then lower the price and move him on. We should forget Victor Osimhen, move on with what we have. I think we're just looking for a winger. We're actually good in that area, in my opinion, because he has no clue what it means to be a football legend. Like you pointed out, it's all about the money at the end. Yeah, business for all parties involved, so I'm not going to blame him. Tebeho, we liked the Sassi, but something it didn't quite click for him at Chelsea. Um, and he was that's such a player under the slightest of pressure. He makes mistakes. He makes a lot of, you can say, primary. He does he a lot of primary school level mistakes, and that's not acceptable at this level. If we're not the sort of team that likes to play out from the back, then not an issue. Where he'd operate as a non-nonsense defender, just clear it. No need to try to drive with the ball or pass it around. Just put it forward. But we don't play like that, which you can argue that was the reason why we immediately realized, that's it for him. The moment Enzo Maresca was hired, we knew he was going to be the first one out of the door, and it turns out we were correct. But to be honest, let's hear you. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I think he's the sort of defender that Mourinho would want to have in his team. But this is not Mourinho's team. This is Enzo Maresca's team, and he doesn't fit the profile in terms of his abilities overall. I don't think he'd do well under Enzo Maresca, but let's hear you.
Yeah, with Axel Disasi, I think sometimes it's unfair to him because we played him as a right back a lot of the time. And when he's playing as a centre back, he was doing much better. Not excellent, but much better. But most of the times, we played him as a right back. So it didn't help his development. So
I wouldn't say development. You could say maybe that didn't help. I would just leave it at that didn't help, because we can't be talking about development for a player at his age. I think it is something that's part of his game. He's not the most comfortable under pressure. As I've
Mm.
mentioned, he cracks under the slightest of pressure and makes a silly mistakes, primary school level mistakes, and it's not acceptable at this level, in my opinion. I wouldn't call it development because, yeah, he's no longer a kid. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind selling him. Actually, we should sell him because it's not part of the Enzo Maresca plan. So let's sell him and get some cash. So, like I said, coach, like I feel like we didn't give him enough time to play as a center back because we used him as a right back most of the time at
But
Chelsea,
even
which
as a
was not
center
bad.
back, he makes mistakes.
Yeah, but he was better playing as a center back than as a right back.
Yeah, less mistakes when he plays essentially, yeah, than on the right side. I agree with you. Go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, no problem. That's my take on Disasi. Hopefully, we can get a good fee for him. 25 to 30 million, I think is a fair market value for him.
Yeah, if we had David Moyes, Jose Mourinho as our manager, yeah, then he'd be one of the first on the team sheet. But yeah, we don't, unfortunately.
David who?
Sorry.
David Moyes at Chelsea.
Yeah, no, no, I'm just saying if we had him as a manager, I know it's not possible. That's my reference. Just it has to do with his approach. It doesn't really, you could say, playing out from the back is not mainly his thing. They do it, but they only do it when they have space. If you get my point. But Bobby, let's hear your accent. This is see for me, just sell him, get the money. Then we'll know how much left. If we can get 25 for him, for 60 million pounds minus 25 million pounds, that's 35, right? So that we owe UEFA. So that's how I see it. I've moved on from him ever since, actually. But I knew it wasn't going to be easy to find a buyer because even at Aston Villa, he was making those silly mistakes. He didn't stop even playing as wherever he played. But Bobby Lancia, your accent to see, it looks like yeah, his time at Chelsea is up. I didn't one wasn't one of the best signings, but he's a good defender overall. But that aspect of his game, a huge issue given the way the manager likes to play.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, Axel Disasi is done. He needs to be sold. There is a list of so many players that need to go. I don't know why people are talking about Jackson. Jackson still has a place as long as there isn't another forward purchase in terms of a striker purchase. But Axel Disasi needs to go. Sterling, Chilwell, unfortunately, Carney,
There's
who I like
also
very
Leslie.
much. Yeah, Lesley, yeah, he's already transfer listed. I mean, these are players that just need to be sold. Trouble is, the way the media has advertised it, they've kind of started attacking Chelsea sales, and some Chelsea content creators are attacking Chelsea's sales. If indeed they are going to sell Noni, how does it help the club if you're going around telling Arsenal fans, oh, you're buying Chelsea rejects and he's not good and, he's a very good player and he will definitely strengthen them. But, we have to get a good price for it if it's going to happen, which it looks like it will. But we're not that flush with wingers either. Esteval is going to take time to settle. I've said that till I'm blue in the face. Gittins, he's young. I don't know if he can carry that responsibility of leading and playing week in, week out. So on the right, we've only got Pedro. We do need another winger, another multifaceted winger who can play on the left and on the right. I can't see Neto being played game in, game out. He has his slight tweaks as well. So,
And given his explosive application on the pitch, we don't need to
yeah,
play. I don't think it'd
exactly.
be wise to be playing him week in week out.
So we do need to invest in that squad depth. And quite honestly, if Noni goes, I cannot see a situation where Nkunku will go as well unless somebody comes in. It's
Yeah,
not going to happen.
your argument makes sense. Yeah, we can't just
It's,
lose both, and yeah, weaken the squad in terms of size and depth. It just doesn't make
yes,
sense.
it doesn't make sense, and it's not going to happen. It just Nkunku's not audibly asking to go. The club aren't clearly audibly trying to sell him. The pages of the media maybe, but it's just not something that will be done. That should be done. Yes, there's quite a lot of transfer window left. We've got all of July, all of August, but we need to still be, as we offload, make sure that the squad depth is suitable, and this time properly plan the squad, because with the persistent injuries of your Lavias and your Wesley Fofanas, and the fact that we've got to treat Reece James delicately, we do need rotational options for these players. That's why where people like Josh Achimpong come in. It's very important. I personally think, from the winger point of view, I think um, Tyreek George needs to go on loan.
Yeah,
He's not quite ready for the big time, and
I think he needs to go where he gets to play more because he's still very, very young and needs to play more often to develop, continue
he
developing
does.
properly.
But I think there's only a year difference between him and Gittins, which shows how much of a baby Gittins is, and the fact that we
Yeah,
do need somebody else to support that area. Look, I look at our team and I look at potentially what could be Arsenal's team, and it's chalk and cheese. We still have work to do to sort out that squad. We really do. We can't be
I'm just
caught
going to leave it. I
napping.
do think we'll probably make a few more signings, 2 to 3,
I
certainly.
don't know if
Given,
it's
yeah, especially
as
if
many
Madueke
as three.
leaves. If Madueke leaves, then definitely up to 3.
Well, if Madueke leaves, then we'll need at least two. If Madueke and Nkunku leaves, then we're talking about three. This is why we can't. I don't know why they're trying to push Jackson out. There's no Jackson is needed. If there's anything, we have already got our midfield set. We've got four midfielders, which is about right. But if there's anything the injury to Lavia and the suspension of Caicedo taught us, is we need squad depth, because suddenly when that happened, we looked very, very thin in midfield, very thin in midfield, and had to rush through a Andre Santos, who for 30 minutes in the Palmeiras game wasn't really quite there. Yeah, he warmed up a little bit later, but it's going to take him time as well. So we really have to pick this squad carefully and know what we're doing. But we know the standard departures, and Disasi is definitely one of them. We don't need to mess around.
Yeah. All right. Let's catch up. We'll give those in the chat the microphone and then get to the next item we have lined up. And we have an update from DJ here, which reads: during initial talks of Noni Madueke, Arsenal floated the idea of signing Josh Archibong in a joint deal. I'm just laughing. I
Please,
think
that's
I've
bullshit.
known.
Why do we?
I know.
Why do we?
I know our new owners well enough to know that if they
That's
like a player,
such.
they really like a player.
That is such BS. I'm
Yeah,
surprised at
exactly.
DJ coming out with that
Yeah,
nonsense.
and it's not like they're looking. Even if they let's yes, I mean it's believable. I think if the moment they mentioned that, Chelsea probably say, okay, you're not serious because they love the kid and the manager loves him, and I'm quite sure probably he's only starting some of the you said because of experience is the reason why some of the CBs we have are starting over him because the kid you could argue for me him Tosin him, Tosin, and Levi Colwell, in my opinion, are the best centre backs we have right now in terms of intelligence, in terms of ability to read the game. Tosin topples and Josh Archibong, his calmness, the way he drives to the ball, and in terms of the ability to slot in the midfield area seamlessly. He's number one actually,
Yeah, and a
even
right
though
back
he's
as
a
well.
defender. But if
You
you see
know,
me,
he
yeah,
can play
exactly,
the
right
right
back.
back position and the
So
left back
yeah,
position.
yeah.
So
So here's the
I
thing:
don't buy that
they're
story.
free to
That
dream.
that's what you
I mean,
call gutter
yeah.
press because of the Wanyeri story. So it's a tit for tat sort of thing. Gutter press is nonsense.
Yeah,
NJ,
possibly.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised at you,
yeah.
bro. Don't post that sort of crap.
All right. All right. Tobias, stop. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Kudus to Chelsea. I don't think it happens. He's opted to join Tottenham, and for good reasons. I think Chelsea is not guaranteed a starting place. No big club guarantees any player a starting place. You have to come earn it. But in this case, probably he sees a path at Tottenham, and Chelsea these days, if they suspect the slightest of doubt from the player they're looking to sign, they move on. We look for players that want to come to us. Big up to you too,
Kudus is
Wendy.
another.
Nice to see you. Sorry.
Kudus is a strange one. You know, his stance is odd. Yeah, first, starting time, and there's no 100% guarantee he'll start at Spurs either, but he'll probably be more likely to start there than anywhere else. But
Mhm.
it's an odd position to take. It's almost a sideways move because it's a move banking on the Brentford manager and the fact that they're in the Champions League. It's an odd one for me. It is what it is. I've moved on mentally from him as well, but I just think why box yourself in that corner with Spurs? It doesn't seem. It's odd. It's an odd position to take for a
Yeah.
player like that.
I mean, it's his life. Before I continue, I'll take back the microphone to those in the chat. If you're following the show on X, please do us a favor. Take a second and drop a like on the video, share the video, and also follow our X account. Help us get to 6K followers. Same for you on Facebook. If you're following the show on Facebook, do us a favor. Take a second, drop a like video, and follow our Facebook. We'd really appreciate that. 14 likes. We can do a lot better than that. Big up to you too, Shay Wendy. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Chelsea now have three strikers with different characteristics. That should solve the problem. I don't think we're looking to sign one more striker, but we'll sign the forward, a winger. Nkunku is one I don't mind given another chance at Chelsea. Yeah, new Enzo Ball, unless a club comes up with an offer north of 40 to 45 million. I think I agree with you. He's looked good. Um, and I think the manager you could say he's a professional, and he's a consummate professional. Even at times when his body language did come across as him not uninterested, you could argue at the time, if you were in his position, you'd be seen the same in the same light, because yeah, it's about your future. It's about you're not going to be settled if you find yourself in such situation. So I don't blame him. But let's see what happens. But everything comes down to his ability to press, except if the manager starts using him as a 10, where, yeah, he's done well. Gittins seems perfect for Chelsea, very perfect. Pedro Granja, I agree. Who will be the second left back? I think that's why I'm saying we'll still sign one more defender. I don't know whether we're still interested in signing a Hato. But let's see what happens. I totally agree with Bobby. DJ, agreeing with you there. I completely agree with you in all your opinion. We need a winger and more defenders. So remember when we had so many of our players injured last season, it really affected us. And the season before and the season before. But I think not that much this past season. Maybe we've found a way to manage the fitness of our glass-made players. Achimpong
Can I
was only
point out?
goes out on loan. I don't think he goes out on loan. Go ahead.
No, he's not. Achibong's going nowhere. He
No.
he he is an extremely important part of the squad. He
Mhm.
has to remain at the club. A very interesting point about Nkunku, please, coach.
Go ahead.
Nkunku has 3 more years of contract. People forget this. Oh, just over 3 years of contract. He is not on the payment system. He's paid outside of that, and he's
Yeah,
being
that's
paid
another issue,
handsomely.
though.
He's being paid well. And he owes the club. His first
But
season,
that's an issue too, Bob. You know that, right?
yeah, these first two seasons he didn't play. He was out injured. So I can't really see if his performance picks up and, as people say, he starts pressing, and we don't buy anybody else in that sort of what I call the floating forward positions. I can't see him going. I not this season. Yeah, the thing about Pedro is Joao Pedro can go to the wings, left or right. He can play centre forward, and he can play a 10. He can play anywhere along the front and maybe even drop into midfield a bit, and maybe even deputize for Palmer sometimes. He's the utility striker. Delap and Jackson at the moment are the strikers. I can't see that changing. I really can't see that changing. Certainly not before January. It's going to be interesting to see, but I think a bit of the focus will be on maybe one more winger, maybe one left back, and then Sales. We need to get some of this dead wood out of the door, and that's what I want to be hearing. I want to know what's going to happen to Chilwell and Sterling, because right now they're like millstones around our neck.
Yeah, the serious problem around that neck indeed. All right, it looks like my screen is frozen. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it right now. Oh my gosh, this keeps happening every day. But I think I can read in the comment here to see if that improves. That's highlighting this. Read not that one. From my bro Ankit from Almighty Blues FC. Bro, sorry, and if you're for the audience, apologies. My screen is frozen for some reason. There you go. Maybe. All right. It reads, I completely, not that one. It reads, Action Ponga was only goes out on loan. Yeah, but that's your response to what DJ, to the update from DJ. Yeah, I don't think he goes anywhere. We're not going to sell him. The manager likes him, and the manager has not been, he's made, he's made his love for the kid open clearly, and how he's used him. He's used him how many times now on, and again in he's given him opportunities to participate in high profile games. One of them being in the Club World Cup, and he did very very well. Didn't look out of place. Was our, you can say, one of our best defenders on that day. So I want to fix this quickly. I don't want it to happen again. I think probably because the video streaming on X, it slows down the system, and I don't like until this is sorted out. Just give me 1 second here. Let me go back to the comments. We have a Pedro Granja again. Kudus choosing Spurs is just a crime. Um, attitudes like William did are lacking these days. Yes, then I get it. We've seen the pictures of him wearing a Chelsea jersey as a kid, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's always supported Chelsea from the kid. I've been in that position too. I had a Manchester United jersey given to me as a gift by someone, even though I already started supporting Chelsea at the time. So I'm not just gonna go by that. Seeing someone putting on a Chelsea jersey, and then you can say that lead to me believing that that person is Chelsea through and through, and especially a grown up. He's no longer a kid anymore. This time he plays football. Football is work. So it's about probably where he earns the more money. Chances are that's the case, actually. But I'm not sure how much he's going to be earning at Spurs. But let's see. Give me a second, please. My system is acting up. But I'm getting there. I think I need to get out of this window here. I think that's what's causing the issue. Where oh my gosh, I don't like this. Where have I stopped? But more likes, people, more likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Where's that? And Keith comment. Yep, I think I've succeeded in taking it out from there. Give me a second, people. I apologize. I will uh, find a permanent solution to the issues of the system freezing. Yeah, why we're in the middle of a show. Okay, not that one. Where did we stop? Big up Coach and Tobeho. That one, we've addressed this one. Chelsea now have 3 strikers. We've addressed this one from my bro Nkunku. Yeah, we've addressed this one. Gittins. Okay, well, we're good now. Address this one too, and address this one from my bro. And this year, which reads, yeah, I wouldn't call it a crime. I mean, he's looking out for himself and he's chosen to join sports for reasons we don't know. Bobby, only messing, bro. Of course, I don't mean that. You're serious? DJ? Bobby, did you see what DJ just said?
DJ, don't listen to Coach. He's trying to get us to go to war.
No, but
You
seriously,
know,
did you see what he just said?
what did
He
he
was
say?
messing with you.
Yeah, he's cool. Me and DJ is cool. We're always on the same patch.
All right, all right. Tavera, I know you're still there. If I don't call on you to speak, you can always interject. Let me and let us know you have something to add. But Chelsea Kudus, that's the best. It's not gonna happen. I've told you that. You just go to bed, bro. But I appreciate you finding the time to support your brother. And I cannot thank you enough for that. So thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. And bro, people go check out my bro's YouTube channel. Click the 3 dots to his name. Click on go to YouTube channel and subscribe. Let's help him get to 20,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. And we have Chelsea should go for Rafael Leao. I think Leao is headed to Barcelona. I think so. Is it Barcelona? I did see something to that effect. I didn't pay attention. And he's not a player I want at Chelsea. If you complain that Nkunku doesn't press, wait until you get Rafael Leao. Joseph Olakunle, my bro, my Niger bro, Osimhen and Leao, never gonna happen. Real Maya the rapper. Big up, bro. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you for reposting the stream. Sincerely do appreciate you. And the 4v1 says if Chelsea cannot get point a strike, I am sorry for Chelsea. I really missing Big Rum. You're missing Big Rum? Lukaku? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure. I really rate Josh too. Was meaning he is. I'm not sure. What is he saying?
It's missing who? Lukaku?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe I read it. I didn't read it correctly. But he says big, and then in quotes, in brackets, Roma. I'm not sure. Okay. I really rate Josh too. Was meaning he isn't. He's okay. Not to be sold. Yeah. Okay. Now I get it. Not to be sold least for sure. Never there and will never be. But yes, if Hater comes, since he is versatile too, then we may send Achibong on loan. I think even if Hater comes, we're not sending Achibong on loan. Achibong is unique. Ashevon can actually play the DM role the way you can say play the center back, fulfill the center back role the way Maresca wants. You've seen him play. I think 2 high-profile games where before you know he's in the middle area and he's so calm, reads the game very well, and he has good passing range. Good, at this point, I'm going to stick with good enough passing range. I still need to pay attention to his overall passing range, but that kid. I don't think even if we signed Van Dijk today, they'll send him out on loan. Honestly, I think the club would look to move on somebody like Badia Sheila and keep him. He's that good, really.
Yeah, you see the I don't know how to express this, but the thing with the Chelsea team is because it's so young and so relatively, I won't say inexperienced anymore, because they've been a couple of seasons in the Premier League now, but relatively unknown and unexposed. They're underestimated. You know, people are underestimating.
and I like that.
Yeah, to some extent, but at a point it gets irritating, especially when it comes from our own fans. They're talking about we'll send Josh out on loan. Josh is not, he's gone beyond that. Josh is now squad ready. He is the most advanced academy player that we've got. Yes, you can have George, you can say Tyreek George had more game time, but, there was a need to give Tyreek more game time because we were thin. We didn't have strikers. At one time, we were even forced to play him as a number 9, which collapsed woefully and actually exposed the fact that he needs a loan. But Josh is now a player. He's now a Chelsea player, and he just needs to continue his integration in the squad. They are turning their nose up at Liam Delap, which is amusing, but okay, we'll just take that. Um, and they're somewhat, still a bit unserious about Joao Pedro, which is also amusing, and we'll take that as well. But I just think that because the squad is young and it's not, they're not daily names like your likes of Gyökeres and Osimhen and the likes of those. People are underestimating these players, and I think they're of a better quality than they're being given credit for. Can't hear you, coach. You're in mute.
One, apologies for misinterpreting your comment. I sincerely do apologize. I didn't mean that. So he meant Roman. I read it and I was confused. Okay. But apologies for fee one. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of problems there. We can hear you fine. Just a little glitch. Is this still happening, Tobeho? A few seconds looks okay now, bro. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's okay now. It's okay now.
Okay. We haven't bid for Kudus or made an offer for him yet, which could change. He could change his mind. You believe Wickler Barish, so there's still hope. After selling Madueke, we could hijack the deal, or even post a medical classic at Chelsea. Here's something I want to say. Here's something I want to say quickly. I think we probably haven't made a move to sign him because we've heard or we learned that he's only talking to Tottenham and wants to join them. When you hear such, if I'm part of the team that signs the players that for Chelsea, I wouldn't go give it a try. So that's not a good sign. If I find that's a way for me to check and see that in fact he really does want to go to Tottenham and doesn't want to talk to any other club, why waste my time? I think we've been there before. Usually you waste a lot of resources trying to sign a player that doesn't want to come to you. They end up going where they want to go. And it's actually that simple. Backup left back need to be prioritized. I think I agree. Before another striker or a CB, EJ Santiago, I think we've been told, according to the transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano, that we're definitely going to sign a CB. Chelsea really need a keeper and let Kudus go and play for Spurs. He will regret it. I think he will if he goes there. I don't think they've changed that much. Thomas Frank can be pragmatic and a very good manager, respectfully, but do I think he wins something there soon? He's going to need at least 3 seasons. Yeah, in my opinion. The way Santos played in our last match gives me joy. Yeah, he did well. It took him a while, which is natural. Probably a bit nervous at the start. But that defensive midfield position is ready to deliver next season. And here's something that happened. I think is there's a difference between his movement and that of Caicedo. He did operate more like a traditional DM and not like you can say a hybrid of a CM and DM we see from Caicedo. But that's not to say he didn't do well. He did really, really well given his age and the fact that he hadn't trained enough with the manager. Still getting there. But that's just my opinion anyway. Thank you for that, Michael Okoye. Nice to see you. I think I say hello to you. Okay, but apologies for misinterpreting your comment. Do you think Chelsea will sign Nwaneri? It's a possibility. It's a possibility, and I like him. Actually, I'll take him over Madueke anytime, any day. And just funny enough, we've always said it here that Madueke needs to improve. And if the manager, we've always known, if the manager has if he has options, that can, where he can, if he has the luxury to select someone that be better at fulfilling that role than Madueke, he'd do it without looking back. But last season he didn't have the luxury to do otherwise, which was why Madueke played a lot more than, in my opinion, he should have played. But the manager had to make do with what he had at the time. But chances are he still stay. Chances are he still leave. But let's see. Big up to you too, Crazy E. Nice to see you, my bro. Always nice to see you. What's your opinion on Chelsea starting the season with Sanchez as number one? Seeing as things may have fallen apart on the Maignan deal, I think we're just reading too much into what Allegri has said about Maignan. Yeah. Maignan, chances are he'd still leave them as a free agent and come to Chelsea. I wouldn't say that deal is dead and buried. I wouldn't. No. Before we pulled out, he told his bosses at AC Milan, let me join Chelsea or I will leave as a free agent. This, you could argue, because he's still there. They probably believe that they'd be able to convince him to sign a new contract and stay. Clubs do that sometimes. It depends on how you value the player. And in this case, Allegri saying that, for me, is just appealing to his soft side by saying publicly he's our captain, we like him, he's probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. He knows exactly what he's doing. That's not to say Maignan stays there next season. He could still leave as a free agent. Then there could still chances that they'd be able to convince him to sign a new contract. But he's doing what they need to do, what AC Milan needs to do to appeal to his soft side and maybe eventually convince him to sign a new contract. That's how I see it. But let's hear from our senior panelist here. Bobby, what do you think? Crazy E is concerned that, he believes that the Maignan to Chelsea deal is dead and buried.
We're in a very odd space at the moment, Coach. There is a lot of window left, and I think fans are getting a little bit, ahead of themselves and maybe a little bit too much in a rush. We don't need to be too much in a rush for certain deals. And I think the Maignan deal, if it's anywhere in the horizon, is certainly one of them. We don't desperately need him. It would be lovely to have him. He will certainly improve us, but we're not desperate for him. And we've taken a stance on his pricing. It's not something that, if the opportunity or if the avenue comes again, I think the club may look into it. So I'm not sure it's fully gone, but it's not a priority. I think the priority, it will be on sales. And hey, as we speak all this, we have a massive semi-final tomorrow. I'm not sure.
We'll preview that game in the morning tomorrow.
I'm not sure the club is really looking any further than that at the moment.
Even if
that's
we do, we're not going to make it open to not unsettle our current players.
Exactly. That's a big game tomorrow, huge game. I'm not really sure how I even feel at the moment. It's just one of those sort of games, and here on in, if we get to the final, that's an even bigger game, and we've got to be focused. The team has to be focused. So all these transfers that we're talking about at this point in time is a little bit of a misnomer. And I must say, I was incredibly disgusted with Sky Sports that all they could talk about with Chelsea going into a semi-final is, oh, how does Madueke feel with this? What about Jackson? I mean, it's they wouldn't do this to any other team. They just wouldn't. It has to be Chelsea that they are trying to add pressure upon. It's like we fight the media, we fight the officials, we fight the opposition team. It's crazy that so much hostility is aimed at one club that just wants to play football. And
Here's
I
how I
know,
see it. Here's why I don't complain anymore when they talk about Chelsea in the manner that they do. That's one of my most loved, I would say, uh, favorite songs. If nobody talks about you, then you're nobody. Honestly, I think I just see it
well,
as the yeah. It just reflects how big of a club we are, in my opinion. But
yes and no.
it will
You know,
never change.
there's gossip and there's talk that is geared to unsettle. And
Mm.
that sort of talk is geared to unsettle, and it can be effective because these kids look at social media and things, and that's the aim. And I think that's quite spiteful. It really is. Just want to say one thing I've been saying over and over again. American Chelsea fans, come on, we've got to see you. I'm disappointed. You know, this is a huge competition. They're now selling tickets back in England, trying to put packages together for fans to go out there, and especially if we get to the final, because the support we're getting is dishwater. It's
I mean,
horrible.
it's the culture, really.
Oh
That's not the
gosh.
country's main sport. I think you already know that.
Well, yes and
Fortunately,
no, coach. They're not supporting Real Madrid like that. You know, they're giving them some decent support, and I noticed some decent support to Dortmund. So what is this that they're doing? And it's not as if the Chelsea fans aren't there. They're there, but they're spectating. They're not supporting, they're spectating. They're sat down as if they're watching a play in the West End. No, it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
here's something. Yes, I want to say quickly. With the Maignan topic, is this. My only concern. I have one concern. I'd be lying if I say I don't have a concern. Is the Donnarumma PSG situation. Um, he hasn't signed a new contract, which means if they could become a free agent very soon. So if that's the case, and France is home, they'd know if they say, "Hey, we are looking for a goalkeeper," he wouldn't hesitate going to them. And Donnarumma
But
has been very
would they
public
want
about
him?
his contract situation. That's the only concern I have. I think Maignan probably, definitely will most. I think he'd most likely leave AC Milan. The question is whether he's definitely coming to us. I have that concern of PSG coming into the picture because if they do, that's it. Because France is home.
I think he's more likely to go to Saudi than PSG, to be honest. PSG
That's another possibility. Yeah.
are not looking at aged players in particular. Maybe they'll look at him as a goalkeeper. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Neither am I convinced that Donnarumma won't extend. He seems quite settled there. I'm not sure about that one. The Maignan thing, the thing is, he's coming to the end of his career. He really is. I think he missed the boat, really. He should have joined Chelsea a lot earlier, although he was priced out of joining Chelsea. It's a bit like
80 million at the
Koulibaly.
time.
Yeah, it's a bit like Koulibaly. Koulibaly joined Chelsea 6 years too late. The time he should have joined, he was priced out of it by the Napoli chairman. And then when he was washed up, then they decided to even then fleece Chelsea of some money and send him to us. We were saved by the Saudis. He's looking good for Al Hilal, yes, but nah. In terms of the Premier League ruggedness and pace, it was too much for him. Will Maignan be able to be the answer in that situation? Coming from Italy? I don't know. I really don't know. Sometimes be careful what you wish for Because to be honest, in the
Listen,
past,
Bobby, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, apologies.
I was just saying, in the past few games, yes, Sanchez has had a few little wobbles, and yes, people are blaming him for the Estavo goal, which I don't. I think that
No,
shot
no, no,
could.
no.
It was so
That was a good goal.
deceptive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have beaten anybody. It was quite a deceptive shot. I don't think Sanchez has done much wrong in the past few games. Honestly, is
No, he
he did
hasn't really. But except for that one blatant giveaway, you could say the usual type of mistakes.
the usual thing
And
he does?
yeah,
You know,
and he started doing the things he did that helped us deal with set piece towards the end of the season. He started
yeah,
coming out to claim the ball again from
you-
corner kicks and all that. Yeah,
exactly. You know, on a regular day-to-day basis, would I hang my hat on him? I would do so with trepidations. However, I'm beginning to have confidence in him in big games. He's beginning to become that big game goalkeeper because he's not put a foot wrong. He didn't do it at Forest. He didn't do it. There's so many big games where he's stood up to be counted. And you're right, he's coming to claim crosses. His shot stopping is good. He's somebody that if there's a penalty, you don't put it past him to save it. I'm not. I can see why they're not too bothered, and you know, the backup in Jorgensen is more or less the same. Well, Jorgensen hasn't let us down in big games. He did well in the Conference League final. People may say, "Oh, it was only against Real Betis," but no, I beg to differ. He saved some certain goals.
the game could have
Um,
ended 3-0 to Villa to Betis in the first half if it wasn't for his brilliance between the sticks on that day.
exactly. Exactly. So, you know, we need to be careful what we wish for. You know, we're a developing team with players that have really developed. And the goalkeepers, I think sometimes we have to give them their flowers. We get into this fashionable rut of digging at people, even when they've redeemed themselves. We ignore it and continue reminding them of their past, which I don't think is very fair. Would I say he's a world beater?
All right,
No.
I'm going to take the microphone back to those of you in the chat. Yeah. I'm going to take the microphone back to those in the chat. When I come back to the panel, we have the captain of the community in Constantine Dunn. Don't worry, he's always late, doesn't have good discipline. Then we'll have him speak. So my only concern is PSG coming into the picture, or Saudi Arabia, like Bobby did mention. But we'll see. Let's see what happens there. But I think he still definitely will leave AC Milan. But that's my opinion anyway. Lusula, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for joining us. Chelsea needed to get Victor Osimhen and Rodrigo weekend. One is gone. Victor Osimhen closure. Just call it closure. The only thing that is left is for Galatasaray to reach an agreement with Napoli. I think at the moment what Chelsea should be focused to do is to sell unneeded players. I don't think that being an issue. I think the speed at which we sell players, a lot of people will be surprised. But that's my opinion. Big up to you too, IB. Nice to see you, my bro, and thank you for being a paid member. We sincerely do appreciate that. That will go a long way for the community. Thank you for joining. Rugged Frankie, Rugged Baba. Kudus wouldn't want to come up to CFC. He's scared of staying on the bench because of the pool of competition. I think we're stacked. It would take, in all honesty, I would say this again. I think I when I heard that he's opted to join Tottenham, I did say to myself, yeah, he's probably most again. Competition is the, you can say, the issue here. Yes, where are you all following the show from? Please do let us know. Sincerely do appreciate you all. It'd be good to let us know where you're watching from. The answer, which makes sense, chance to operate these days, can only be Fofana. He's a good player, an intelligent player too, but very young. So I agree. Good. We saved money by not watching Kudus, or rather sign a backup left back I think, yeah, that's a more of a priority. In that area, I think we have numbers, in my opinion. Do you think Jorgensen should be the starting goalkeeper? If it were up to me, I'd choose him over Sanchez, actually. But I think he lacks experience. That's the only thing that's left in his game. In terms of playing out from the back, I don't think any of our goalkeepers come close to him. None. Even he's probably one of the best in the Premier League, in all honesty. But that's a small opinion anyway. He will get there eventually. Maresca knew when we were pushed to sign him, he probably, some are saying he was actually the person that suggested Jorgensen. And the fact that he let him play that final against Betis showed, yeah, he has a faith in him. And I think eventually he'll become our number one. He's that good, really. I would prefer Petrovic as number one, but he's gone, never coming back. What else do we have here? I think because we have one of the best fans in the world, and the club is always on on the spotlight. I mean, that's another way to see it. I like that comment, seriously. Listen, okay, America is full of Latinos, and Latinos who support Real Madrid. That's another point. A lot of us support Real Madrid and Barcelona. Yep, we will never be able to compete with them. That's a serious way to put it. With listen, I like that one from Wesley Michael. Michael, thank you for that delicious comment. I appreciate that. Yep. If nobody talks about you, then you are nobody. I can't quite remember the lyrics, so I don't want to mess it up, and I can't sing. I'm sorry. But let's see. Gerard Hato is really good. Yep. The season before the just concluded season, he played as CP. The just concluded season, he played as left back. A Nigerian with a pretty. Are you a church preacher? Seriously, but you ain't real. We need a goalkeeper urgently. You only send them flowers because we are in the semis of the Club World Cup. But nice to see you. Thank you for joining us, Wesley Michael. I appreciate you. Spain. Okay. Is that where you're joining us from? Thank you for letting us know. I appreciate you. I'm watching it from ABJ. I used to live in Mararaba, to be precise. I loved it there. I still have a lot of friends there. Watching from Toronto, Canada. Welcome. Thank you for letting us know. I hope we don't go for Garnacho. Yes, something I told people with my cookie thing I started last month. Prepare. You should be probably prepare for life as Garnacho. For life, how did I phrase it actually? Garnacho as a Chelsea player. It's a possibility. You don't rule that out. I don't want it to happen, but I'd say don't rule it out. It's just seems as if we like him. Not we, the directors maybe, and the managers, I don't know really. It's been quite a Chelsea front. Yeah, quite a lot. Malika Fofana, I do like that kid, honestly. I like him. Big up to you too, Lifo, Republic of South Africa. Nice to see you. What's the situation with Osimhen? Chapter closed. From a Chelsea perspective, I think you could say closure. For those Chelsea fans that have been hoping for us to hear, yeah, that's probably the reason why we didn't push to sign Gyökeres or Benjamin Šeško. He's gone. But I've always known, I think Dante too, a lot of us here knew long time ago that, yeah, it's not going to happen. Osimhen to Chelsea will never happen. But that's, by the way, let's bring on the captain of the community, Constantine Dante. Big up to you, Dante. Where do you want to start from? We talked about Axel Disasi, Victor Osimhen on the verge. I wouldn't say on the verge. Looking like he's going to end up at Galatasaray. And Rugged Frankie, use 3 emojis. Otherwise, the AI that is policing the chat will delete your message and probably time you out for a few seconds. So use just 3 emojis. Do not use more than 3 emojis, okay? But thank you. Dante, let's hear your thoughts. We've talked about actually two topics only.
Wow, only 2.
Lack of discipline.
1 hour.
Discipline is the reason why you're late.
Yeah, there's always a reason why I'm late, and that's you. I learned from the best.
Yeah, blame it on me.
Big up, Bobby. I think Tobago might be there as well. Like, I'm not sure if he's on or
No,
not.
Tobago is not important. Just go ahead.
Yeah, he's on no connection. That's the usual for him. Um, and yeah, everyone in the chat as well. Hope everyone's good. Uh, yeah. So what are we talking about? What's the topic at hand?
This is to Villa, but we're talking about Osimhen joining. I don't think nothing serious here really. We haven't gotten to you can say the nitty gritty or the most important topics. We've talked about the CC, the report. I read something to the effect of no formal bid yet from Villarreal. I think, yeah.
Mhm.
Then somebody talked about, I think, Easy E. You could say his comment does reflect his thinking that yeah, Mike Mayer to Chelsea, dead and buried, never gonna happen. And I said no, I don't think so. I think he'd still leave, probably driven by what Allegri said that yeah, he's their captain. He's probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And my response was that yeah, he's doing what they need to do because they still have a chance to convince him to sign a new contract and stay. Just trying to appeal to his soft side. You get the point. That's all we've talked about. And the next item is what we have on the screen. But let's hear you if you have anything to add to say
Yeah.
about the
Look,
topics we've already discussed.
the goalkeeper situation. We spoke a bit. I was on Tobago earlier, so we spoke a bit about that. Uh, Basically, if we sign another goalkeeper, it's got to be an upgrade on Sanchez. There's no point signing another goalkeeper that's similar to Sanchez or something like that. So there's not many world class goalkeepers available. There's good goalkeepers available, but there's nothing sort of the next world class. Probably Mike Maignan is that one of those, but we don't know exactly what happened there. Like we saw the report somewhere. Oh, we're negotiating, and then at the end, some of the big reporters came. No, there was no negotiations. There was nothing like that. So we don't know what really happened there. So, but yeah, we might go back for it. We'll wait and see. It's a long transfer window. People keep forgetting that it's
I think
it's a
if we're
long and
going
those
back, it
type
will
of deals.
be negotiations with just him because he'd be a free
Yeah, those
agent.
type of deals always happen at the end of the transfer window anyway. So because he hasn't got a contract, etc. So we'll wait and see. Yeah, if we upgraded the keeper or not. Look, I would
Not
rather
only is
stay
it
with
a long
Sanchez.
transfer window, we've got big games ahead of us, or a big game, and we
Yes,
can't be pushing out transfer talk too aggressively when we're trying to settle the team to go and
Yeah.
win
exactly.
a massive game.
And like
That's
we
why.
agreed, Bobby, even if they're still looking to sign Mayor, I don't think they'd make it public now.
No, definitely not. No, they'll
Go
leave
ahead,
that
Anthony.
to the end. That's what I said. If that happens, that'll be the last week, or maybe even the last day, something like that. But yeah, we'll see if we go. Otherwise, like I said to Tobago, I would just keep Sanchez another season, because he's still probably kind of turned it around a bit the last 10 to 12 games, except one little mistake that you talked about earlier in that game, that he did his usual mistake. But otherwise, he's been very solid, and he can probably do the job. Is he going to win us the Premier League or Champions League? Probably no. But can we still be very competitive with him? We've seen that we can still be. So I would rather just keep him for another year, to be honest, than go out there and sign another keeper that's not much better than him.
Just about the goalkeeper, and Sanchez has saved us from a lot. There's
Yeah,
he's made some really really big and important saves that has not only won us points in the Premier League, but also in this competition, has helped us go through to the next rounds.
hmm
Rounds. So I
aggressive. Yeah,
just like you, I think he may not be the top draw, but I think he's good enough at the moment. He's showing he's good enough. The thing with Sanchez is minimize or cut out your mistakes, and you become head and shoulders much better than people are giving you credit for.
yeah,
Just
exactly.
like
Look,
for
it's
me, I just say I know we can do better than Sanchez, but his only biggest problem is lapses in concentration.
yeah, and usually with his feet, yeah, that's the
Yeah, with
problem.
his feet, he's
The
not
ball
the
playing.
best in
So
terms of with his feet.
look,
And
he's
as I've
gotten
said
better the last
before, I
12
would
games.
start
He hasn't really made.
Jorgensen over him anytime,
Yeah, he
any
hasn't
day.
made mistakes. He's only made a couple of mistakes in the last sort of 10 to 12 games. So he's definitely improved it at the end of the season when the pressure was on, especially in all those the big. Were all big games the last 10 games of the season. and then obviously the conference final as well. So, and this Club World Cup. So he's definitely improved. Can he sustain that? Well, it's Sanchez. We know his IQ is not the best in those moments. So, and the Premier League is much more higher intensity and much more pressing. So it is very different. So yeah, look, I think we can hold on to him. If we can't find anyone, just stay with him another year. If he wants to stay, of course, just stay with him another year, and then
I
you,
don't think we'll sign a goalkeeper. I'm not sure how soon, and I want us
yeah,
to deal with it once and for all, really. Because
yeah, yeah. Look, there's
I
not
think it
many.
is still there,
There's
irrespective
not
of
many world class
yeah.
keepers. That's the thing. There's just not many of them. The only one, probably Maignan, that's available as well. I'm talking about probably Maignan. He's that to me. He's a world class keeper. He plays in the top team. He's won trophies there. He's won trophies in France. He plays for the French national teams. He's a world class keeper. But he's probably got a few years left only. There's no really world class keepers to go over Sanchez. There's just not many to buy, to be honest. What's another one? Maybe Diogo Costa from Porto.
And he's
Uh,
available, actually.
he would
Didn't
be
we
one
address the
probably.
report to suggest that he's available?
He would be one. He's very good with his feet as well. He's short. He's much shorter, but he's very good with his feet.
But he's a
And
much
again, he's
better
one.
goalkeeper than Sanchez.
Yeah, yeah. He's one, obviously, Portuguese starting goalkeeper. So he's probably world class as well. So
We were actually interested
yeah,
last 2 summers or so, weren't we? But the price
we
was
were.
also
Yeah,
too high at
he
the
signed a
time.
new contract though. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So he got a big pay
unfortunately.
rise and a new contract, and that nothing happened. So that's why teams haven't really gone back for him. Maybe in the next year or two that they will, but that's why we pulled out as well. So yeah, look, there's not many world class keepers out there that you can sign, unfortunately. So like I said, those are the only two I kind of probably can name. So it's not easy, but I'm okay with him after what I've seen the last, like I said, 12 games. I'm okay with him staying another season. I think he can do enough for us to maybe win a cup or at least finish top four again. I think he can definitely do that for us.
Yeah. All right, let's give those in the chat the microphone. Come back, switch topics as soon as we can. I can't read everything. I'll skip some. Going up from work and listening to you guys that makes my evening and is the best Gatorade I need. That makes us happy. Wow. Thank you, Rugged Frankie. Listening from Toronto, Canada. Sincerely do appreciate that. Always nice to see you. I think this is your first time here actually, but nice to have you here with us and hear your opinion matters. We're just not into name calling, but feel at home, express yourself. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. So thank you for becoming part of the community. I want us to sign Silva from Benfica. A lot of Chelsea fans want him. I think we've been linked with the move for him for how many transfer windows right now?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were. Yeah. Look, good player. But the problem is a lot of the people that want him, they want him based on that one game they saw. Most of the people, as usual, the flavor of the moment, basically. So you got to really watch him playing a lot more games and how he
but it doesn't
plays.
look like we're interested overall.
No, I don't think we're interested. Maybe we were before, but
Last
now
summer
I
we
don't think
were.
we are. Yeah, we definitely were because he was one of the best young centre backs. Still is like one of the top prospects. But obviously, again, he had a new contract, signed a new contract, massive release clause. So yeah, he's someone that gets him will get him probably in the next year or two on a massive fee, and yeah, he would have to walk in as a starter anywhere he goes, basically. So yeah, I don't think we're looking for that right now to pay that much money for a center back and to do that. I don't think that's us right now. Yeah.
All right, let's see what else do we have here. Chimera, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Kepa is gone. Sterling is going. Sterling is definitely. Madueke is going. I think Madueke definitely is going. Yeah, definitely. So, all right, I think it's time to switch topics soon. Special thanks to Gallagher and Chewa for sacrificing themselves. All right, I will scroll to the very bottom and then I'll try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. Christian United says, come get Onana. Tell him we're waiting for him. Yeah, tell him don't go anywhere. We're coming. tell him to get his family members that are goalkeeper too. We'll sign all of them. I'm still not convinced with Gittins. He's very raw. I mean, he's not perfect yet. Let's just stick with his talent. He's a good talent. His ceiling is high. But for me, I would take Gittins, even if they don't play in the same position, over Madueke anytime, any day. But
Oh yeah.
after all, we're looking for players that are capable of playing on either flanks, and I'm going to stick with that. But I'm convinced by Gittins. I was actually, let me say this. We've talked about this. We did take our time to compare Gittins' wow numbers to that of the guy that's not sure what he wants to do with his life. Halfway, he's gone to to Barcelona and then back again, saying he's where he needs to be. I don't know who wrote that for him. Where were they when he was on the verge of joining Barcelona? But the issue was that I think Bilbao sued them and they turned around. But here's something I want to say quickly. We did compare Gittins' output to that of who was it? To that of Rodrigo, to that of Nico Williams. I think there's one more, Yildiz and others. Actually,
Yildiz,
the most important
Oh, and
metrics.
Fofana as well.
And Fofana, areas that will help us. You can say that will make us that will help us be ready or be prepared or be good enough to beat low blocks or teams that defend deep. He is in the top 1%, and he gets you goals too. And when we looked at it, the only thing for me was that he should have more assists than goals, but I think it's the other way around. And the truth remains, as he matures, then his output will become a good balance. The output will become a good balance of goals and assists. It's really that simple. But a lot of people, because the other names, like such as Nico Williams, more experienced, I agree, especially given his exploits in the Euros, people were quicker to say just go for him. Go compare, take your time, compare the output of Gittins in the just concluded season to that of Rodrigo, to that of Nico Williams. Go do it yourself.
Well,
But
just for context,
because the
Nico
other
Williams
names
has
are
5 goals for
flashier,
the season.
more experienced, more popular. People are quick to say, get us the other name and not this one. But when Man City signs one player that you haven't heard of, when the player plays one game, you'll be screaming, they are scary, they are scary good. But you knew nothing about some of the players they signed. It's about getting the player you want. And for me, Gittins, he's the most suitable to the way the manager approaches the game than Nico Williams. Even if we're interested from a financial perspective, Nico Williams just doesn't make any sense. But we signed the correct player, in my opinion. Go ahead. Were you saying something, Dante?
Just for context, Nico Williams scored 5 goals this season. The previous season, he scored 5 goals. The previous season before that, he scored 6 goals. So he averages 5 goals per season, Nico Williams.
Yeah, my opinion, I would take Gittins anytime, any day over Noni Madueke. That's just me, honestly.
And he plays pretty much every game. So he's had over 35, 36 games each of those seasons and 5 goals. Basically, he's a 5 goals, 5 assists guy, which not very good, is it? To be honest, that's very low output. So yeah, definitely Giddens. The way Giddens plays, like you said, especially from Maresca's system, that's exactly what he wants. I like Nico Williams, but looking more and more into it, definitely Giddens will be much, much more of a hit than a miss, especially in the Premier League. Nico Williams, I think, would struggle even more in the Premier League.
All right, let's see what else we have here. This particular report is about Nicolas Jackson. I think we've always known that Nicolas Jackson isn't going anywhere. I think he will finish the season. And I do believe that it would take a lot to convince the club to sell him. And I think that's the case. But this particular report, you can say from his perspective, let's read that. Chelsea are planning for, I think there's one, this is not the one I have in mind, But this one in particular says that Chelsea are planning for Nicolas Jackson to remain at Stamford Bridge. Sources have told Football Insider. Enzo Maresca wants to keep the Senegal international at the club despite the recent addition of Liam Delap and Joao Pedro. You could say the profiles they differ. They're different from each other. We can actually see a game where we'd have Delap on the pitch, even what's his name, Joao Pedro and Nicolas Jackson. It depends on where each person starts. But of course, if Delap is on the pitch, he starts at number 9. Then the others can share maybe second striker or one of them on the flanks. I think we've always known Jackson. The possibility of him leaving is there, but I really didn't think it was going to be this season. I think he'll be given another opportunity. The manager likes him. He's improving. We've solved the main issue, which was having him just as the only striker at the club, and he's not been efficient enough to, you can say, to help us do well. But let's hear you, Dante. Your thoughts on that.
Yeah, and Jackson's come out and did a bit of an interview. He's basically said not going, he's staying to fight, and it's just it's more motivation for him to train harder, do better, and the competition. So he doesn't want to go. He's not, and we know this because he's done this before when he's talked in interviews when he had going through his rough some patch and last. He's very much a very hard worker, and he wants to improve all the time, and he wants the competition. So now he's got it, and I think that will really push him and make him much more hungrier and much more focused. I think that will help a lot. It takes a bit of the pressure off him as well. Like you said, he was only our striker, and Nkunku unfortunately couldn't do nothing and couldn't even really, replace him at all because he just wasn't good enough in that striking position. So there was a lot of pressure on him more. And look, he still did okay, Nicolas Jackson, but obviously, he's still got a lot of improving to do. But I think he's definitely staying. His character, what I've seen, the way he talks and he's got that character that he always wants. He wants the challenge. He wants that. He doesn't give up. He's not that type of guy that will go and negotiate with Arsenal right now. So I don't. Yeah,
And
he's
the
a very
fact that he
completely
talks
different
with
mentality.
Drogba, I think Drogba would probably advise him, you have to stay, prove yourself.
Yeah, of course. No, prove yourself. Prove the doubters wrong. It's going to make you much more hungrier. Like I said, might take a little bit of pressure off as well. So yeah, look, I think he's still got a pretty good role ahead. Maresca really likes him as well. We know that. He always talks very highly about him. So he's disciplined him a little bit now. So we'll see. He did that when he did that.
I mean, he disciplined himself, I would say.
Yeah. But Maresca, disciplined it by not bringing him on and bringing Joao Pedro on. So that, from what he said at the interview today, that just makes him hungrier and wanting to prove more and play more and try to play more because he wants to
Which
prove
is
a
the way
point.
it should be.
He's got the right mentality. That's what you want. You want a player like that that's got the right mentality, that wants to be here, that wants to fight for a spot, and that wants to prove people wrong. Because he can easily just go somewhere else if he really wants to, and the club will facilitate that. So yeah, I like his attitude. I think he's always had a great attitude in the interviews when he's talked and what he does on his social media, what he posts and what he does off seasons and how much he trains and what he does. So yeah, he's very committed. He's really committed to staying at Chelsea long term and being here 10 years and really staying and proving himself. So I'm all for that. I'm fine with him staying. I think he'll still get plenty of game time, no problem.
I think he will. Here's the thing, this is Chelsea. It was never okay to have him just as a sole striker at the club. That was a risk, and we knew. And he's not a bad player. He does everything right except to be consistent in front of goal in terms of his finishing. And
Yep.
you could say, and one of the reasons being, he doesn't shoot instinctively. He always
correct.
hesitates, almost always hesitates, which is an issue. And Delap has that over him. Delap shoots instinctively, but he doesn't. But the good thing is that they're different. They complement each other. Both can actually start in the same game. So I'm happy he's staying. That's the way you structure the squad. You have you can say not direct competition. I would say they're different, but I like his mindset. Like as you've said already. And I strongly believe, probably because he talks with Job, I tell him stay there. That's what good players do. prove that you should be the starting striker, and he will get better eventually. I hope he pays attention to what he's not been doing right and work on improving on them. I feel for Nico Williams clearly using the same service as Dante. I'm not sure what to make of that one, but I had to read it because, yeah, you're having a go at Dante. Jackson will
He likes
definitely
to go
improve
at
and
me
facing
every time
competition
now.
from
He
the
like
lab.
he likes it,
I
but
would say that
I won't bring up the mistress and that anymore. So that's fine.
too. Bobby, Nicolas Jackson, the club have said that, yeah, they're not looking to sell him, and he said also that he wants to stay. Did we lose Bobby? Yeah, it's late for him. Chances are he's not there. But Bobby, if you're there, if you want to talk about Nicholas Jackson, up to you. You can come back on and we'll let you speak. I want us to catch up with what we have and then go news hunting. A lot of comments also from the manager, Caicedo, and all
I
that.
was trying to
Uh,
unmute. Would you believe? Um, what Jackson saying he wants to fight for his place?
yeah, he wants to fight for
Well,
his place, and the club aren't looking. Chelsea aren't looking to sell him too.
I don't think Chelsea were looking to sell him. I'm glad he said that because that's what we need. We need three fierce strikers of bringing different things to the club. I'm very happy to hear that. Very very happy to hear that. Considering his recent misdemeanors, that's a little bit of respite for him. But now he's got to put that into the pitch. I think you're right. I think he does need the competition. I think he knows that. And if he's been
For his
talking
own
to
good, yeah.
Drogba, yeah, if he's been talking to Drogba, Drogba can share his experience of his first 2 seasons at Chelsea. It wasn't quite like Nicholas Jackson's, but he struggled a little bit to settle, to get used to the culture. Certain things he was doing that people criticized him for, I never did. But and of course he then needed to get into his stride and his goal scoring. Look, Maresca in today's press conference said he's not looking for a 40 goal a season player, but he's looking for players that will score 40 goals, which I thought was very clever. And if he gets that from his strikers, each of them chipping in 15 goals, then you can imagine what that means. So let's watch his space.
Yeah, I do. I'm just looking at something serious here. Show me the transfer window that Badia Shile is never injured. How does Bro keep on escaping? That may well be a
Yeah,
strategy, but I
that,
don't know. I think it's a
that's
joke, but
that's
it's a very
that's
funny
going to
one
be
that makes sense to an extent.
that's going to be his downfall. We can tolerate or go through gritted teeth injuries to Wesley Fofana and try and get him at least to give us 10 games a season, but we can't carry Badia Shield and that as well because he seems to be quite injury prone. I'm not sure. I think he's closer out of the door than Chalaba ever will be, to be honest.
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah, I think they're
You're
both of them
closer
are.
to the exit door
Yeah,
than Chalobah is. I would say no. I think he
I,
has a
we
lot
kind
more
of
in his game that the manager values.
we,
Both complement each other. That they're different. He's more of a ball playing defender than Chalobah is.
we can't afford to
And
lose
Maresca
Chalaba,
likes
to be
that.
honest. And I think Maresca
I
knows it.
wouldn't. I mean, it's up to.
What's happened? Are you there, coach? Or is it my
he's
system?
having technical difficulties again.
Oh, is it? Okay, I thought it was me. Wait, let me try and.
No, we can't hear you, Coach. Maybe sign in, come back, and now he's frozen, so that's fine. He might be doing that anyway. Yeah, Bobby. So look, we'll just keep going till he comes back. Yeah, look, like you said, I think Shield probably was close to that on the edge, if maybe. I think Shalaba's pretty much there as well, just because. it depends. Obviously, if we get someone, then I can see he might be leaving as well. And depends how Maresca sees the ones that came in, how they're training, how they're doing, as in Sar and a couple of the others. So yeah,
What,
look,
there was just SAR, isn't there? There's no other real
Anselmino,
sort of.
Sar,
Oh,
there's a couple
Anselmino,
of them that
yeah,
came in. Yeah,
yeah,
so
too.
it just depends what he sees. But yeah, of course, I want him to stay. It's squad depth. It's just he has to be happy to be a squad player and not play every single game. Uh, like when in Crystal Palace, he played so much there. So it just depends what the player wants as well. If he's happy to stay, and he is one of the older ones, Chalobah, well, getting not old, but as one of the more mature ones in the squad, the more experienced one. So he just got selected for England as well. So it just depends. That's because he played like the last 3 or 4 games for us of the season. He started those games. So yeah, he needs to be starting and playing regularly to, I think, get back in England. And if that's depends what his mindset is and what he wants, because like I said, because he's entering his prime right now. So just depends what he wants. But yeah, definitely we should definitely keep him if he wants to stay 100%. And I think Maresca is exactly the same. He would keep him 100%. Will keep him if he wants to stay.
Yeah, I mean, we have to wait and see what happens. I personally believe he will stay, certainly this summer. I think, the thing about Chelsea and their defenders and the number of games we play, I think time has shown us that these guys get game time. I it's a funny position. We get injuries, we get suspensions.
Yeah, yeah,
We need. Look what's happened in this competition now. We're down to him and Tosin. Really, he's not going to play Anselmino in this game yet. Although he's shown a willingness to try and start blooding him,
or
which is
Sa.
interesting.
Sa's ahead of Anselmino, anyways.
Um,
Yeah,
Sar as well. He's not going to play him in this game yet either. They're going to take time. If anything, they will be the rotational squad players that may find themselves getting blooded in cup games.
yeah, yeah,
But for serious, high-profile games in the league and in the Champions League, etc., you've got to look to your Chalabars and so on.
yeah.
I think the
This-
sad thing about Chalaba is a very underrated player. I think that's so unfortunate. However, fortunately for him in the England setup, we have what's our manager's name?
Too cool. Yeah,
Tuchel. And Tuchel knows him very well and appreciates his ability, and I think that will be a license that will get him across the line as an England squad player at least.
yeah. Not he won't be starting, but it might get him, like you said, the squad and playing a lot of the international games that are not as relevant. So yeah, look, hopefully he stays. If he does, great. If he doesn't want to and wants to go, I'm fine with that as well. Because if he wants to go somewhere to play to be a guaranteed starter, that's fine. Like I said, he's that age now where he's starting to hit his prime. So it just depends what he actually wants. And Maresca
Um,
say the same thing. And the club will look after him. They'll facilitate a move if he wants, and I think he will stay if he wants to stay. So yeah,
I've been quite interested in certain things I'm seeing from Joao Pedro. He's a player that I think we've lacked for a while. He has swag. I like that. A player with swag, a player with confidence, a player that you see the fight in him. He's already in the 20 minutes he came on the field. He was there already geeing up the stagnant USA Chelsea fans. You saw those gestures he was making towards the
hmm
fans. Come on, get behind
yeah,
us,
yeah,
sort
yeah,
of thing. He's somebody that will have Stamford Bridge on its feet. He has that passion. He has that fight, and I can see he will be liked. Um, I think of people like Diego Costa. I think of who also Delap also reminds me of. I think of your likes of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. I think we've had though it's been a while since we've had those strikers with a bit in their teeth that when they come on the field, everybody's on edge, especially the opposing centre backs. They
Yes.
really don't know how to get hold of these guys because they G everybody up, and yeah, he's going to bring some fire into the club, and I'm looking forward
And
to
that's
it.
what Maresca asked for. And look, they gave it him, which is good. They gave him two of them, so that's even better. So, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that was definitely a Maresca. He definitely wanted that. He said that in the press conference that he definitely wants that type of player. So, yeah,
And I
we got
hope
two of them.
Jackson
Great. I think
Jackson
they'll
will learn
well.
will learn from them that you can bring fire without getting red cards.
Yeah, exactly. Jackson can learn quite a bit. You don't have to come and stamp your authority on the game and get sent off. You can do that like they do. So, yeah, look, it is what it is, but I just don't think Jackson's that type of character. That's why. So it's not in his character. So if he does it, it doesn't come off. He does it over the top. So it's he. I think that's what he tried to do, but very
I am.
unsuccessfully,
I'm
unfortunately.
gonna start this. Okay, go ahead, Dante. Let me reboot the main system. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no problem, coach. We'll keep talking till you come back. Hopefully, not too long. Um, yes, yes. So yeah, look, Maresca's got an extra option. He's got obviously the lap, the physicality, he can hold the ball up, and Joao Pedro, that's more of a technical Brazilian flair. That's very good in the box. I think Joao Pedro is a very important signing because we needed, like you said, but especially to break down low blocks. He's very good at that. You saw that when he came on against that low block. He did very well. So dribbling in the box, holding the ball up as well, strong, and knowing his head up, doing while his head up, looking around. He knows where everyone is, and he created chances straight away because of it. So yeah, he'll be a very important asset of especially coming off that left, I think. Like coach said earlier, I think he'll play a lot, maybe with Jackson starting and the lap starting. He will play, I think, a lot against especially the low block teams. He will start as the left winger, and then Cucurella will probably come on the outside, and he'll push and tuck in a little bit more as a 10/9 false nine sort of hybrid, like we saw last season's other players. So and Nkunku did that quite lot of times, and he just wasn't successful. Unfortunately, yeah, he was very disappointing with that. So now Maresca's got that weapon as well. So and when we play against teams that are a bit more open, well, then you've got Giddens, you got these players that are going to come in that's fast and one-on-one wingers who will slice teams up the other way. So now he's got the option. He's got both options to play. So I think yeah, it's coming together, slowly coming together, and I think he's getting exactly what he asked for and what he wants.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be interesting. I think also the fact that there are options. Um, I, big players play well in big systems.
Yeah,
I think that we're slowly, not only because he's getting fit now, but we're slowly seeing a better Nkunku because the onus isn't just on him. So he's
yeah,
able to fit into a system where he has competition, he has players he can bounce off, he can disappear a little bit in games like he does, and then suddenly appear with a goal. That's Nkunku's game, to be honest. There's something that we've overlooked, and because we've been so desperate and so short of that attacking quality, that we've left it all on him, and he appears not to be that sort of player because now he seems, I'm not saying he's staying or not staying, or I'm just saying for now because he's
mhm,
certainly staying for the Club World Cup. He seems happier. He seems more effective. And I think we can work with that. We can work with an Nkunku like this than with an Nkunku surrounded by a bunch of children and no strikers and being forced to be the lone striker.
yeah,
He's not that sort of player that plays with swag like Joao Pedro. Joao Pedro, that will just motivate him and he'll get the eye of the tiger. whereas Nkunku, that demotivates him and he feels the weight of responsibility.
Yeah, which I agree with, but also still think, even though like he played well the other day when he played, I still think he didn't do nothing in the game. Just passing, a lot of good movement. But what he needs to be doing, which is assisting, scoring in the box, he didn't do shooting. Didn't shoot once, I think. Yeah, he still doesn't do that, and that's not what we need, in my opinion. I think he will get moved on. They'll find the right place for him. Probably by the end of the window, I think he will be moved on because I don't see him playing enough. And again, another one that's in his prime, basically, 27, in that sort of sweet spot now. That is 3 years. This is his prime as well, so he needs to again be playing. And I think with Joao Pedro coming in, if Jackson staying, and if we sign another guy, well then, yeah, even now I think he's very much sort of third, fourth options even now. So I think it'll be difficult for him to get a lot of game time. So yeah, I think they will find a solution and they will move him on, in my opinion. But yeah, he still just, for me, just doesn't do enough. He looked better. Maybe it's the weather. Maybe he's enjoying the hot weather. Maybe he's enjoying his time in the US. He definitely looked better, a bit more mobile, running around. But it was all kind of not worthless, but it was good movement. But we resulted in nothing because it was just passing the ball backwards, sideways, and around with that movement. There was nothing created from that movement, and there was nothing. There was no shot, no nothing offensively much. So for me, still not there for me. He still doesn't have what he needs to have, in my opinion. So yeah, look, we'll see what happens with him, but I'm pretty sure they'll be looking to try to move him on. We obviously need to get the right offer as well, so we'll see what happens with that one.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We will see.
Like I said, it's still quite a long transfer window. It's still, you know, it's basically going to begin more. It's going to get, obviously, like every year, basically. It's good we've done a lot of business early this year, which is great. We've brought some players in nice and early, which is really good. They'll have plenty of time now to concentrate on the outgoings, but they're still probably going to look at another one, maybe two max, to come in if certain players leave. So yeah, we still got a lot of time. Those deals only usually get done, as you know, last week, down to the last 48 hours. Most of the deals that get done, probably 80% of the deals get done those last 48 hours in transfer windows.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because we're in a very unique sort of situation. As I've said, we're in competition for a huge trophy. It's a massive trophy, and it's not really a time to be splitting your focus on transfers and that sort of thing. These players need to be focused, and I think they know that. I think they're very aware that whether they are transfer listed or not, this is something that they may not have the opportunity for again. It doesn't, as it is, it comes around only once every 4 years, and there's specifications for you to even be in it every 4 years. So, in football, clearly, you take your opportunities when you have them, and that's why you still see people like Noni coming on, still highly motivated, and Nkunku giving a better part of himself than he has been because they know the value of this and they want to win this. Make no mistakes about it. You know, whether they can, well, that's
Mm.
left to be seen. But they're going to give it their extremely best shot.
Just to answer, IB's got a kind of a question or a comment there saying, he's saying, folks, people that are saying Noni has regressed, which I've been one of them. That's why he's probably talking about me. Why don't we give him a chance to play with a finisher who knows where to receive the ball in the box? Well, I can
Fair
answer
point.
that one for you. You go ahead first, Bobby. I'll answer second, actually.
I think it's a fair point. I think the main reason Noni's even up for sale at all is one, he's willing to go. Two, um, the money in sales, and I think it's a bit of a gamble because he has developed with this team for 2 seasons, and I think although he's a frustrating player, but Noni's an extremely effective player, as he showed when he came on in the game against Palmeiras. I think he will need replacing. I really do. And why don't we give him a shot to have people that he can cross the ball to that will score? It's a fair argument, but maybe now it's a blunt argument.
Yeah, look, first of all, Nani doesn't look to assist. He's always looking for him out for himself first. Secondly, when he does try to assist, most of the time it's too late, and the balls that's played in is not very good, and his head is always down. He never looks up when he does that. So I don't think anyone who plays, he's not going to get many assists, and he's not going to do that very well. Unfortunately, my personal opinion, and I still do believe he has regressed. Yes, I especially the last 6 months, especially the last 2 months when the pressure was on, when we needed him the most. Those last 10 games, the run in and some the Conference League, quarter, semi, final, he was nowhere to be seen in any of those games. Nothing, not one of them. So when I say he's regressed, in my opinion, that's what I mean. He's regressed recently, the last sort of few months. He's definitely regressed. He's gone backwards. He hasn't improved at all. And he's had 2.5 seasons with us now. So, yeah,
He
like
struggles
in
in big games. Games
yeah,
too. He
everyone
struggles in
stood
big
up.
games a
Basically,
lot.
everyone stood up in those games. He was the only one that didn't at all. Like, not one of those games he had a good game. All of them were way below par, and just doing the same thing he's been doing all along. Being more selfish, uh, turning, shooting, becoming very very predictable. And this is why I think Maresca even gave him the chance to try to mix it up a bit, move him to the left, get shooting on your right, try shooting on your right, try to be a bit more unpredictable. Because Maresca really, he did like him, he played him a lot. So he's moved into the left. The first game he played, he did okay. Uh, wasn't He did actually not bad at all. But then all the following games after that, horrible. Why? Because the defenders already know what he's going to do. He's very, very predictable, and the way he dribbles the ball really out far in front of his feet, uh, having just his technique is not the best at that. It is good at one on one when you're wide in the open, but that is not going to happen much because we don't play against teams like that anymore much.
My
We're the
goodness, he
position,
was
we're
so
the one.
awful in the Conference League final. It's not funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Jesus
was probably his worst game
I
of the
could
season.
not believe he came onto the pitch in the second half, actually.
He couldn't
So
even
you could
dribble. He was
argue
tripping
the
over
main reason
his
being
own
that
feet and the ball. The
Maresca
ball
didn't
was
have
his
too
worst
many
enemy. He was
options. Go
tripping over
ahead.
the ball every time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like you said, coach, that final was absolutely horrendous the way he played, and he had no pressure on him because he was just losing the ball by himself before a player comes. He was tripping over it, putting bad passes. Yeah, yeah. Look, he didn't finish off the season. He finished it probably the worst player, probably by far, was him. Everyone's pretty much stood up, and he's the one that really failed that test. So look, now he's with Arsenal is agreed personal terms. Apparently, all the big reporters are saying that, all the top ones. So it's pretty much true. Still not 100% probably true, but it's very very close to being to happening. So he's moving on. So he's kind of giving up in a way.
But there's still
He's
a risk there. I think you did say that to some. Listen, if we're not sure whether we'll get a replacement, I don't think we'd agree to sell him. But that's my opinion anyway.
well, we kind of, in my opinion, we kind of already have the replacement. We've got Neto and we've got Estevao. He's going to be I would take Estevao now over Noni by far, in my personal opinion. I think Noni would. I think Estevao is better than Noni right now, and I think you will see that he'll be playing a lot and he will be starting. He is basically going to be that guy on the right hand side. We might buy another one if he leaves, and if Nkunku leaves as well, we might. But I think he'll be more of a versatile player, like Kudus, for example, that can play all across the front. someone more versatile. So what Maresca likes as well. So yeah, but yeah, I'm sorry, Noni, and especially him agreeing personal terms and negotiating with Arsenal. He's been talking to them apparently for a
It
month.
looks, it does look like as if he even started preparing to leave even before Chelsea thought about selling him. Actually,
Yeah, at the end of the season, as soon as the season ended, after the club, after the conference, yeah, he basically was in contact with them. So to me, that's a big red flag. That's a no-no as well. So
for me, it's even worse that he's not getting a pay rise.
correct. Yeah, he's on a very low salary with us. He's only on £50,000, so he's going to probably double that, maybe even more, 120. And at Arsenal, I don't see it will be more than that. But he's going to, double his wages basically. So yes, there'll probably be a bonus sign-on fee, something a little bit on the side too, for his agent as well, and family involved usually with those things as well. So yeah, he's going to get that. But yeah, he's not starting at Arsenal. There's no way he's starting over Saka. He's not starting over Martinelli. That's for sure either, in my opinion. So
That's why I think
look,
it was like Richard's
he's
that
giving up a little bit
question
in a
why
way.
they're signing
And
him. Go ahead, Dante.
yeah, he's kind of giving up in a way, and that's a bad sign in my opinion. Because Maresca really trusted him and gave him a lot of game time. He
He
probably played the
overplayed him
most out of all the
actually.
wingers. He actually, invested the time in him and gave him everything. And he's just turning away now and going to Arsenal. So yeah, that doesn't sit quite right with me. That just backs up everything I said about him.
Yeah. All right. More likes, people. What's up with Wesley Fofana? Is he still injured? Yeah, he's still out. I'm not sure. We knew he was going to be out until the end of the season. His return date, I honestly do not know. Chelsea FC players are close to the exit door: Starlin, Felix, Ochoa, Broya, Nkunku, Ugochukwu, Chukwuemeka, Madueke, Badia, Shile, Disasi, Pat Sanchez, all surplus to the requirement. You could argue pretty much all of them will leave.
Uh,
But
just to add to that,
Starlin
coach, we
not
made a
going to be
list
easy.
earlier with. I made a list earlier. I had 15 players that need to leave. 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Uh, Santiago said we already give Madueke 2 years. We need someone better. Listen, I've always known that we can do better than Madueke, but at the time, the manager had to make do with what he had, uh, uh, but we knew that eventually he'd move on from Madueke. Madueke was just lucky that there weren't too many options at the time, and that's how I see it. But that's my opinion anyway. So Estavo, that situation between him and Dario Sugo becoming an interpreter. He says, Estavo, and okay, I had to ask Dario Sugo what Cole had said to me. He laughed a bit before translating, telling me Cole said he's excited for you and want to come. Want you to come with us after the game. Yeah. Wow, they really like him. I wanted to stay some more time with my team pals. I came here with them. Yeah, and it makes sense that you stay with them, even though, yeah, you guys were, you could say, knocked out of the competition after that game. I think it makes sense. Yeah, spend time with them. After all, I think probably he'd be given some time off. Yeah, so not a bad idea, really. But that was a very funny but good moment. So this here from Skycarv is how you pronounce his name, Skycarv. He reads, does Nicolas Jackson's future lie away from Chelsea? That's a question. Well, the information we have is that there are lots of clubs that are interested in signing him. Clubs in the Premier League, clubs in Europe, and clubs in Saudi Arabia as well. But he wants to stay, and I don't think Chelsea are looking to sell him. I think if Chelsea decide to sell him, it'd be because he's asked to leave. But at the moment, that's not the case. I'd like him to stay, really. What we've been calling for is for him to have another backup, someone to compete with, which will lead to him becoming a better player because he'd know that if he falters on the pitch, there's someone available to come in, do an equally good job, or maybe an even better job. Competition is good for him, and I think he knows that. I think he stays at least beyond this season. In the coming season, next season, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Chances are he'll still be here, except if the season ends and he thinks he didn't play enough. But thank you for that contribution there. Sincerely, I appreciate you. Yeah, I think we've addressed that one too. So Nicolas Jackson stays. Andrea Sanchez, for sure, this tournament is so important for us. All the tournaments we come to, we come to win. Okay, but we know we have to improve as well against Fluminense. We will take it step by step. If we get to the final, we're winning it. We hardly ever lose finals except in the Premier League. But anything outside England, once Chelsea gets to the final, just call it our trophy. But Dante Sings Santos in his comment mentioned the competition. The competition. Are you looking forward to it? How do you think that one ends? I know we'd still do a match preview tomorrow, but I want to your thoughts. Are you looking forward to it, or are you concerned?
Yeah, excited to see the boys play. Talking about this earlier with Tobago, for me, before the tournament started, I had Chelsea at least making the quarterfinals, and ideally, I wanted us to make at least maybe I said quarterfinals, but really probably semifinals. So we've ticked that off, in my opinion. I think we've kind of achieved. We did really well already, reaching the semifinal.
And that reflects the sort of progress we made. That we were telling people we're actually making progress towards the end of the season, but they weren't paying attention. I'm just happy the whole thing carried over to the Club World Cup. Now some people are realizing, yeah, we've actually improved a lot. But go ahead.
Yeah, of course we've improved, and again, this Club World Cup proves that as well. We started a bit shaky because obviously the heat, but all the players have come out and interviewed and said, yeah, that they really struggled with the heat and some of the pitches. Now they're a bit more acclimatized. They're a bit more used to it. They've been there 2 weeks. So as you saw, each game after that we got a bit better and better, and last game was definitely our best game. So yeah, look. The players are more comfortable now. We've reached the semi. For me, that's a big tick. For me, that's already great. If we win the semi-final and get to the final, anything from here on is a bonus for me. So yeah, but like you said, if we get into that final, we have a very good chance. We're very good in finals, and Maresca's a great tactician. I think he'll do very well. So I don't see us getting, like everyone's saying, a lot of people saying, our own supporters, if we make the final against PSG or Real Madrid, we'll get smashed 4-5-0. That is not happening.
No,
that's not going to happen.
That's probably because they don't. You can say the hatred for the manager. You can say does cloud their judgment to a measure that they don't even see how we've improved on that the same manager.
Yeah, and they're not looking for anything positive.
Unfortunate, really. But go ahead.
It's sad they're not looking at anything positive, and there's a lot of positives. They're basically putting themselves ahead of the club, which should be the club first, and then the rest. That's how I am. The club's first for me. So, yeah, a lot of those people are quite selfish, and they're looking after their own more interests than actually what they need to be, supporting the club and the manager and the team. And we've proven that they've done very well. So, and we're still going. We're still in this competition. We're in the semi-final. We're very close to the final. So that's a massive achievement as well. People are kind of downplaying, but it's not been an easy tournament. There was a lot of good teams. The teams we played knocked out very good teams. The draw was a bit kinder, but like I said, those teams knocked out those really good teams. So it's still a major achievement. So yeah, we've done very well. So I'm already happy.
How much we've made so far in the competition, actually. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing the comments. It's not updating for some reason, but I'm going to try and read what I'm seeing from here. I see Sierra and MC Donna says he just had a joint and just dreamt that we signed the R9. All right, dream on. Dreams do come true. If that one, I don't think I really would want that one to come true. I think you will create more problem than a solution for us. The next one after that one is from Rugged Frankie. Sorry, in the main window here, the comments aren't updating for some reason. Jackson just needs a competition to improve. He's a good player. He just needs to be decisive with shooting and be a bit more clinical. I think we did speak about that at length. His he does everything right except be consistent in front of goal, which is a problem that it can actually solve by learning how to shoot instinctively. You need that from a striker. Don't hesitate, but he almost always hesitates before he shoots, which could lead to the closest opposition player, you can say, closing him down and ensuring he doesn't shoot. Other than that, everything else he does well. He can carry the ball, he can drop deep or dribble his man, he can also create for his teammates, but he's never been efficient consistently in front of goal, which is something I've always believed that eventually he will improve in that aspect. Maybe he needs a personal trainer. I wouldn't want him to leave. It just doesn't make sense. I think he's made progress, and with competition, like you mentioned, I think he'd improve. The next one from Real Madrid have never lost UEFA Champions League final. Do you think we will manage a Club World Cup? It will be an uphill task. You can say the same thing with us. We hardly ever lose a final. I remember we lost a Club World Cup. Was it Club World Cup final or European Super Cup under Mourinho? The one that Lukaku missed the penalty, I think. Listen, do I think they'd get to who are they playing next? Oh,
PSG.
they played already, right? Or have they, or they still playing?
No. They haven't played yet. No.
Who they playing next?
Coach, PSG, Real Madrid.
Yeah, but I'd rather we play PSG than them. I don't know.
I prefer Real Madrid because they leak a lot of goals, and yeah, for me, I would play Real Madrid. The way that they play, we would really give them a lot of trouble. We would open them up. Well, they play already open, whereas PSG are very well organized, uh, much more tighter unit. Yeah, they play very differently. So I would definitely want Real Madrid over PSG. But then again, I do want to see us up against the best. And for me, the best team in the
Good
world at the
experience for the
moment
boys.
is PSG. They're the ultimate test now. They're number one in the world right now. They're the hottest team. They're number one. They've won everything. I would want to see that final against them as well. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna read this a question from. I skipped it by mistake there from AB, which reads, "Chilla, how much do we have in the bank from the Club World Cup so far? I think 20 plus or 40, almost 40. Dante, can you go ahead with that? I'm gonna try and refresh this
He's in the
so that
60s,
the
coach.
comments will start showing on the screen. Go ahead.
We've already made 60 plus. Yeah, we've got over £60,000 already. So yeah, basically that fine and the lapse fee. So we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, and obviously if we win the
We've
semi
made
and get
60
to the
plus.
final, yeah, 60 plus already. Yeah,
Wow. Honestly, that's a lot of money, really. And I think Maresca, from a tactical perspective, you could argue he's been excellent, really, in the
yeah,
competition.
yeah. Besides the one where we experimented a bit too much and Flamengo, but that's the only one probably where he tried something new to do something new.
Yeah, he's done well. So yeah, good question. We answered that. Uh, all right, enjoy. Jackson needs competition. We've read that one too. We've read this one too. Let's go news hunting. And if you have any questions, drop it. We're rounding up soon. I think it's been an excellent competition. 22 likes, 2,475 views in the back end, but we should be doing a lot better than that. Vince's predicted lineup. Chelsea players are making posts on Instagram with links to purchase ticket. Yeah, that is reflective of the fact that ticket sales are bad, really,
Yeah, they're giving basically free tickets away for the game.
because they need support. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. Win the competition, but you don't
Yeah.
have to. We don't want to spend too much in giving away tickets, and it becomes an issue.
Yeah, look, they chose big stadiums, especially the one in New York now. That's a massive stadium. So they were never going to fill it out, especially because it's Chelsea versus Fluminense as well. So, you know, not that big of a, as in not as, not such a shiny, nice, big two big big teams like the other ones where they get
opposition wise.
Yeah, as in supporter wise and stuff like that. So yeah, that's definitely had an effect as well. If we were playing Real Madrid or we were playing PSG or someone, well, that would have been different. Probably it would have been much more, pretty much close to a full house. So yeah, it's always going to be. And we were talking about with Bobby that a week ago. The organization hasn't been quite the best. They got it a little bit wrong. They over fought everything. They thought they were going to get massive sellouts. Not in the middle of the day when the heat is crazy. In those stadiums, you're not going to open stadiums, no shade most of the time. You're not getting to get that many people, and during work hours as well. So yeah, you're not going. The planning wasn't the best, to be honest.
Yeah, I think had it been at night, I think you'd have a lot more people to go watch the game. Honestly,
Yeah, I
and
mean, look, it's all about TV rights, and so the Europeans nations, they can see it at a decent time. So that's why that, yeah, of course, but it just hasn't worked out. It's not,
and it's in New Jersey. If it's in California area, then you have a lot of say huge Hispanic population. I think probably you have
correct,
very sizable attendance, even neutral fans actually.
Yeah, exactly. If it was there, but in New York's is not there's not much. It's not really a football town. It's not much. It's like a soccer town. It's just not. Unfortunately, you're not going to get those big crowds.
Yeah, unfortunately. So, guys, if you have any questions, drop it. We'll be rounding off in a few minutes. I think we've been streaming for 2 hours 11 minutes. Jackson, yeah, I think we've addressed that one. We've addressed this one too. So this is not actually now refreshing, and I'm not going to go out and come back in again. So that's I think I did reference this particular report from what Michael Richards said. I like listening to him. I think he's a good footballer and he's a good pundit. This reads Michael Richards questions Arsenal's move for Noni Madueke. I think depth, just depth. And they think probably they'd get him for cheap. I think that's the reason why they're looking to sign him. But whether they'd end up getting him for cheap, I don't know. So he says, Madueke, where is he going to play? He's been playing for Chelsea on the left recently. I really like him as a player, but I like him on the right, and he's not going to play ahead of Bukayo Saka. I think that you did say that the other day too.
Not even on the left. He's not playing ahead of Martinelli either, or Trossard.
Yeah. So I am scratching my head. So for him, he thinks it's a good decision, or maybe believes he's better than some of the players they already have at the club. I don't know, but whether they get him for cheap, I don't think so. I think Chelsea will. I don't know. IP says correction. New York City is a football city. The stadium in New York, New Jersey, which is a hike to get to. I think usually when I lived in Jersey, I think it was 15 minutes to get to that stadium in question. Isn't it? What stadium was that Real Madrid played that year? What's it called? I can't quite remember. I think a bank's name uses a bank's name, but that's by the way. I would say they are. It's a football city, in my opinion.
The Yankee Stadium you're talking about?
No, not the Yankee Stadium. There's one stadium in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah. What was
not Soldier Field? No, it's not.
No, not Chase. I think it was called Chase at the time. Whether
Chase.
they changed
Something Chase.
Yeah. Whether they've changed the name, I don't know. Not MetLife. Really, I've been to MetLife too. I think I remember. Is that the MetLife? That's the one I'm talking about, or the Chase Stadium? I can't quite remember. But if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. That game tomorrow is going to be really interesting. So nothing new to address yet. I'm going to try and refresh the page, but I can assure you, I'm quite sure nothing new has emerged. For how many minutes right now? We don't want it to stop here. We're going. Without due respect to you two, we don't want to stop here too. We are going to do all we can, psychologically, physically, technically, tactically, to get to the final. Yeah, we're the same too. So make the best win. So you don't need to
they're gonna put a nasty low block. That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah. So we're not saying there's no way we think you're there just to be there for the sake of being there. We know, you want to win. So what the heck are you saying? Was it Benitez? Benitez lost the Club World Cup to Corinthians with Chelsea.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
okay.
Yeah, because don't forget he won the uh he won
Europa
the
League.
yeah. So he played in the I think we won the Super Cup and then but then we lost against Corinthians in the yeah.
Yeah, and Stav would know. He's an encyclopedia, by the way. Yeah, so but I remember that of Mourinho, Lukaku, and I didn't want Lukaku to take that penalty that day. I've never liked him as a player, really. I don't know why. So Lavia, it's time to go. Good luck. I don't think it's a serious injury. I think we're just doing the same thing we did with uh, with Sims through the course of the just concluded season, not risking too much. If we sense anything is going to happen, we just say, yeah, no need risking it. We have other options, which is the reason, again, the importance of having a good squad depth. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, look, it's another just a muscular strain, and I did say this. He's gonna get these at this age because the way his body is, he's gonna get these muscular injuries. Um, he'll get over it once his body fully developed and grown. Yeah, he'll get over it. But at this age, the way his body's built, how muscly he is, he was always gonna, in my opinion, always gonna have those little problems. So hopefully he gets over it in the next year.
So Rugged Frankie is saying it was Di Matteo that lost to Corinthians, and that sounds like it's correct.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, to be honest.
I can find out in a few seconds.
It was 2012. I do know that, but I can't remember who the coach was at the time.
It's easy to mix these things up.
Yeah, well, 2012 is a long time ago.
Yeah, it is. Rafa Benitez.
Yeah, Benitez. I'm pretty sure it was Benitez too.
Yeah, it was Benitez. In 2012, Rafa Benitez was the Chelsea manager when the team lost 1-0 to Corinthians in the FIFA Club World Cup final. I mixed it up. I am the one mixing things up. In the FIFA Club World Cup final, it was Rafa Benitez. Okay? So he's correct. Stav is correct. Yeah. So it was Rafa Benitez.
Yeah, he took over that summer, and that was he actually won the trophy with us the following after that. After we lost to Corinthians, he won. I remember.
Okay, so I was the one mixing things up. Benitez took over from Di Matteo. Yeah,
Correct.
okay.
Yes, it should have been Di Matteo, but he took over and he lost that final. But then he won that season after he stayed with us that season, and then he won the Europa League.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Otherwise, I think it's time to call it a day, and we'll see you the same time tomorrow. What do we have? Anything? Nothing. That's anything else you want us to talk about?
No, all good, coach. Very good. I got to go as well because my son just woke up. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you on the next. I'll see everyone on the next show.
All right. I want to thank you, Dante. With that, I want to say thank you to Wycliffe Barish. Thank you to Star. Nice to see you, Star. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you, IB. Thank you, Rugged Frankie. Thank you, who else was here? We had Vince was in here. Wycliffe Barish. Thank you once again. Claren, thank you for joining. AB, thank you. And if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all. And thank you, Cole Palmer, too. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar, we rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world that all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side. Every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust, our hopes on the rise. for conversation, for real dance, and then with a love this storm. Every phone's just in there, and there was a stretch. How you, my heart, keep the blue fading signs like we soar through every challenge. We will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the